And right now, we're going to be talking about something that can keep you entertained, something that always keeps me entertained. It's film.
You love your film, don't you?
Love
I
my
mean,
film.
you really do. But I must say, this has been a date in the calendar for over 7 years for Sonny and I that we've known about this festival and that we've been involved. And it is so well loved in London. And across the country and now the world as well. And of course, like everybody this year, we've been missing our films going to the cinema and of course our film festivals.
Exactly.
Now, normally we would be joined on BBC Radio London by an array of guests that would have been on our show. There would have been Robert Elms, there would have been Joe Good talking about the fantastic London Indian Film Festival. But of course, due to the coronavirus pandemic, as it stands, no festivals have been able to take place. But what's been fantastic to hear is that the Bagri Foundation London Indian Film Festival has decided that they are not going to be beaten by what is happening. And they have now actually joined forces to offer an online festival which is called LIFF at Home.
Nice.
And the beautiful thing about this particular festival is it is all free. And you can go to the website loveliffathome.com. So LIFF, of course, is London Indian Film Festival, so LIFF. So loveliffathome.com, and you can watch the festival for free. It's already launched, so it was last night from the 25th of June, and it's up until the 5th of July. Now, what's great about it is you've got some films which are strictly time-limited showings, so you know it's still got that exclusive feel, which we love, right?
That's why it's
still got the VIP feeling, which I love.
Yeah.
There's feature films which are only available here in the UK. There's going to be exclusive interviews that will be available worldwide. There's in-conversation interviews. I mean, it's just fantastic. And to tell us more about what we can expect with the brilliant LIFF at Home, which has been done by the Bagri Foundation London Indian Film Festival, we are joined by not only the founder, but of course the festival director, Cary Sawhney. Cary, it's great to have you on the show.
Hi. Thank you very much. Lovely to be back.
It's nice to have you back, my friend. It's been a while, and I guess it doesn't stop for you, right? You still got to find the films to put into this festival.
Yeah.
So how did you source these films this year?
Well, we've been looking at the films for over a year, and then it got to about February, and then suddenly the world crashed.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, okay, we've got a festival in June that's not going to happen. So it was a question of, basically we made sure the team were locked down, so then everybody started on Zoom chatting with each other instead of meeting. And now our team are scattered from Milan to London to other parts to Birmingham. We're all talking every day as though we're in the same office, but in fact we're scattered all over Europe.
Wow.
Which is fantastic.
And when you look at sourcing a film in this climate, I mean, what do the filmmakers and also the people who are invested in these films, are they welcoming this, that, oh, good, the festivals are still going on, I can still get my film out there? Or are they a bit more reluctant and saying, well, let's just hold back, just like the big Hollywood studios have done, just held all their films back until some kind of normality opens up?
Yeah, I think that's the mixed thing. I think so, yeah, some filmmakers have obviously, or film production companies or distributors are holding back their films. But the great thing is that London Indian Film Festival has had so much goodwill over the years that people also know and trust us. I think that's the wonderful thing. Somebody said during the beginning of the pandemic that all that you gave, all that you sowed, you will reap now. And I think that's, for us, it's been lucky that all the kind of love and goodwill that we've sowed over the years has kind of come back to us now, that people are saying, well, we better support this. So the great thing is that filmmakers have given their films for free for us, and that never doesn't happen normally. So they've given us their films, especially independent filmmakers, because they believe in us, or they've come and they've agreed to do Q&As. We've got Bollywood stars through to some of the great independent legends giving us Q&As because they know that they care about us, and that's really what it's about, isn't it? If you can, gender that kind of appreciation, it's more than money can buy. So that's a really cool thing. So that's been the wonderful thing about us. for us doing this is that people, we had our budget was obviously cut down as well, but in spite of all that, we still managed to produce a really high quality product. If you check out online, it's better than Netflix.
Yeah, it looks great.
I read, we've got a film called Monsoon on there, which is a documentary about the monsoons coming into India, and that's in 4K. It's absolutely stunning. You know, it's like you see on a big screen. I mean, these films, you can like some of them. I was shocked myself when I saw the resolution of the films. Because when you ever see, you watch things on telly or on laptop, when you're selecting films these days, you're quite often watching it from a laptop. But when you see on a big TV, and you're sort of thinking, oh my God, this is just like the cinema.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the technology cool. And the time that we live in now. That some of these, some of the things that we can enjoy, like your festival, there is enough technology out there that we can get the same experiences, if enhanced, if not more, because you're sitting in the comfort of your own home without too many interruptions as well.
You can make your own popcorn in the microwave and have your
relax in your PJs. Exactly. Normally I would have, I would have been wearing a dress and heels with some lipstick and coming down to the red carpet. But I can still do it at home. I can still do it at home.
Yeah.
And a better excuse to watch, a fantastic premiere. So let's talk, shall we, a little bit about some of the great films that are on show during this free festival, which, as you know, you said, it's for everybody to enjoy from the comfort of their home. It's, for anyone who wants further details, there's a great lineup. If you go to the website loveliffathome.com, then you can get all the information there. But just talk us through some of the highlights that you think everybody will enjoy to watch.
Yeah, so we've managed to get some of the kind of some great classic films from the past of the London Bagri Foundation London Indian Film Festival, and those include some rare films from Sri Lanka, a beautiful song called Song of Lahore by Shomi Nobed Chinoy from Pakistan, for example. So we're not just Indian, but we're Indian neighbours. And amazing film about a woman car mechanic in Sri Lanka, which is called Flying on One Wing. Very films you would never get to see anywhere except on this platform, which is fantastic. We've got this amazing film called Monsoon. We've got a Bangladeshi film called Runway about a boy who lives on the flight path of Dhaka airport, sort of thing, and how he dreams about flying in a plane, but then gets caught up in fundamentalist kind of politics and stuff. So it's about dreams as opposed to politics, and that's really a powerful story. Right through to some beautiful film like Hankanasha, which is a beautiful love story, all on the 21st century love story where it's all done by internet, and so where these two will ever get together and they meet each other. They plan to finally to meet in Paris. These two people never actually met each other.
Wow.
But they'll actually meet. They find, and what happens then I won't tell you. But anyway,
thank you. But also in this climate as well. I mean, we talk about Black Lives Matter and the movement that is also taking up the news headlines, and also you can see the change in it as well. Cinema has been doing this from decades, if not from centuries, when they bring these kind of subjects to the forefront, and independent filmmakers challenge these kind of issues more often than not, as opposed to the mainstream. And I remember from my childhood, it was a film called Mississippi Masala, which was starring Denzel Washington as well, which was one of those where mixed relationships, and this was to do with how communities come together. Is it something like that you've got in your festival? Where
they've got it on the festival.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this.
Well, that was a huge dig for that film, because we had to try and find the film, because the film doesn't actually, the film, it's very hard to find it these days. So we got hold of the director, Mira Nair, in New York, and
wow, she
helped us track it down, and we got the rights, and they've amazingly given us the film for free for one day, next Friday.
Wow.
And we did this amazing Q&A with Mira Nair, talking about how she told the story about how she developed Mississippi Masala and the kind of redneck kind of filming, how tough it was to film in the Mississippi, and about all the kind of racial prejudice they found, also the prejudice between black and Asian people as well. That kind of stuff came out. We talk about Black Lives Matter, but we forget that obviously that within our own communities, prejudice to African American people is historically not very good either. People of African origin. So that film really covers those multiple issues, but it's also about a story of African Asians coming from Africa, coming to London, then ending up in the Mississippi, where they can buy a hotel, and then the father who can't move forward and still misses Uganda, and his life and the wonderful life they had there. But then daughter who really realizes she has to move on with her life, and she falls in love with somebody who reminds her possibly of her childhood, and finds an identity with an person of African descent, and that's a really beautiful story. And Denzel Washington is absolutely stunning in that film. Wonderful role.
So you only got it for one day on next Friday.
Yes, exactly. They've given it to us free for one day, so that's fantastic. We're hoping that we'll get it again, but it's literally everybody wants it now.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Where did you get that?
Yeah,
it must be so in demand, and you can see the In Conversation with director Mironair from 6 p.m. next Friday as well. But you've got some brilliant In Conversations, because of course you just had the In Conversation with Bollywood star Ayushmann Khurrana, but for the closing night festival, you've got the In Conversation with Frida Pinto, which I know a lot of people are chuffed about. That's going to be on the 5th of July, isn't it?
Yeah, she's a really interesting person. She's completely different from. For example, she said she's very happy about she's quite calm about lockdown, and she says she's actually reflecting and just taking time, but she's a very different personality to a lot of the typical Hollywood stars or Bollywood stars, and a very different journey and self-realizations, and a very sorted person, quite amazing. We've also had this amazing, so Shabana Azmi this morning, we did a pre-recorded interview with Shabana Azmi this morning, and that was just gold dust. I was just listening to her, and we had to record it at, Pratibha Parma, the director, was in Los Angeles. She was late at night. Shabana was early morning, so they had the two of them talking across thousands of miles, having a conversation about Shabana's career, and it was just like, wow. It was like she was giving us highlights of all her life with Javed Akhtar and all the kind of her early acting, how she learned acting. It was a real just inspiration. And we've also had Adil Hussain, who's been our darling this year. He's been doing all sorts of interviews and stuff. He's obviously now breaking into films like a TV series like Star Trek, films version of Star Trek, and he's really going big guns. And he's a very charming. He was talking about anybody that's interested ever to be an actor, wants to be an actor in any type of cinema, check that out, because he gives virtually an acting masterclass on how to approach acting, and it's like everything you ever wanted to know to be an actor, you should definitely watch that masterclass, that In Conversation. It's quite powerful and illuminating. And yet another one was Anand Gandhi, a film called Ship of Theseus. Now, Anand Gandhi's going about the whole idea of coming from, as only Indians can do, it's kind of like this kind of super intelligent kind of inspiration. The India, we kind of like have this idea India is kind of like dumbed down, but it's really not. India's always been the heart of learning and science
and innovation as well.
Yeah, and Anand Gandhi's talking about philosophy right from ancient Greece right through to ecological and the evolutionary theory and other stuff. And you're thinking, wow, I had a PhD in one conversation. I think keep up.
Brilliant.
So these kind of stuff you just can't find anywhere else. I've not heard this anywhere else. So that's uniquely what we do at our funky little festival. We can do things that nobody else can do. So if you want a window into a billion lives, then come to our festival.
And also the festival is free and it's online. But also, are you planning this year, if with everything permitted, having the festival even for maybe a day, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week, or maybe even 24 hours? In the cinema at some point this year? Do you think that we're just going to have to hold out for next year when we see some kind of normality when it comes down to us enjoying festivals the way we used to?
Yeah, so this year we're already planning. For example, today we had this, and next Friday we've got this amazing film called Mouton, which is a gangster movie set with Keralites who end up in Mumbai and become kind of true gangsters, like Anurag Kashyap style kind of gangsters. That's a really grim and gritty, powerful film. Through to Tomorrow Pariksha, which is a beautiful film with Adil Hussain playing a father who will do anything to get his son into a public school, and the whole notion of the aspiring class, working classes aspiring to get into a better education for their children and move their families forward, and to the ridiculous levels. So there's a really powerful film by Prakash Jha, who many of you know is a great Bollywood director. That that's on. And then we've got this wonderful film called Miseducation of Bindu, which is a comedy, which I hope you guys will be doing the Q&A for.
Yeah,
we
will
are
do
on Monday. We're looking forward to that.
But
Yeah.
the question was, Cary, that do you
Yeah.
think that we are going to see this festival in the cinemas this year or maybe next
Yeah,
year?
definitely. Yeah, so what we're planning to do is, moving from those Q&As, those premieres in the festival,
Yeah.
we're aiming to, depending on when the cinemas actually unlock. So at the moment they're due to unlock on the 4th of July.
Right.
Some of the cinemas. Apparently a lot of these smaller cinemas won't be opening until much later.
Right.
But we've been talking to some venues and they're talking about being open in September.
Okay.
So we, all going well, we would like to have a mini version of festival in September. That's the plan. Obviously, we don't know how if there's another peak or anything with coronavirus, so we just don't know.
Of course.
But and there'll be social distancing, so it needs to be in a cinema that's big enough to, for example, the BFI South Bank or the Institut Français or all those kind of things venues where we normally go to. The smaller cinemas will be tougher to do that kind of, festival experience.
So what we're looking for is we'll keep in touch with you and stay in touch with you as well, but also that we might have a mini version of this festival, hopefully with everything permitted in September. And then more details, you can find this all online, right? From the festival website and your social media.
Yes, we are. Social media is buzzing at the moment, which is fantastic. So yes, we've got loads of. Do join the mailing list, and then you can. We'll give you updates on what's happening, so you can have a real cinema experience. We might be able to roll out a red carpet in September, hopefully.
That's what we're all hoping for. You can go to the website loveliffathome.com and Love Liff on all social media as well. It's LIFF, of course, for London Indian Film Festival. Cary, such a pleasure having you on the show. It's been fantastic talking to you today, and congratulations on the festival.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. That's Cary Sawhney, Festival Director of London Indian Film Festival. As he said, hopefully we'll get that red carpet out in September. I cannot wait. In the meantime, though, the good news is you get to enjoy some of these fantastic films for free in the luxury of your own home. And how brilliant, you get some in conversations with some fantastic stars, of course, including Frida Pinto. So head to that website. It is Love Liff at Home.